Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At the beginning, I would like to introduce myself. This is Faisal Blushi, OWASP Kuwait City Chapter Leader. Today we have Fatimah AlYousuf. She is also OWASP Kuwait City Chapter Leader, and today she will talk about OWASP SAM, Software Assurance Maturity Model. If you have any question, please, there is a Q&A button. Raise your questions there. Fatimah, please, the mic is yours.
Thank you so much. Hello all, this is Fatimah AlYousuf, and I'm gonna talk about integrating security into software development with SAM. So we're gonna give a good introduction about what is SAM. But before of SAM, we need to welcome you in the session of OWASP Kuwait City chapters. What is OWASP? An open worldwide application security project. It's non-profit organizations which have technologies, methodologies, and tools to have a good practice to secure software worldwide. And we are here today to share knowledge through conducting initiatives and to explore the world of application security by having good trainings and workshops, because OWASP is a community-driven and open source project for all who want to do some enhancement to secure software worldwide. What is SAM? You received in the invitation that not all models are wrong, but some are useful. Now, we need to solve issues in the organizations. And because of that, we need to speak about SAM because it will bridge the gap between teams and solve many, many issues. SAM stands for Software Assurance Maturity Model, and it's fully open framework to help organizations have a good strategy plan to measure the risk and implement it through improvement cycle. So SAM came under flagship project. What do you mean by flagship project? SAM as a project added value to OWASP, so it come under categories of a project like a flagship. Now let's talk about the history of SAM. It was discovered in 2009. It wasn't an OWASP project, actually, and it was an open SAM version 1, because software consultant engineer who need to integrate security into software development lifecycle. Then, in 2015, a group of OWASP volunteers got involved in that project and did some enhancement regarding adding the security practices. And they released a version. Till 2016, it became an OWASP SAM version 1.1, which had 4 business functions. And they also did some enhancement regarding the business functions and scoring and graphs to measure the score at the end of the assessment. In 2017, it became OWASP SAM version 1.5. Till 2019, they increased the business functions to be 5 instead of 4. And they released a beta version. Then they officially released that version in 2020 under OWASP SAM version 2. This is basically SAM project history. Now, we need to understand the purpose of SAM. Why do we need it in organizations? because we have a lot of challenges. We have developers who don't integrate security into their work, and Sam is liking adding herbs early when cooking. Imagine it like that. Ad hoc security approaches. Security is an overthought rather than built in. And because we have lack of matrix to be tracked, and we need this way to track the matrix for the organization's security posture. For that reason, we need a framework which will provide comprehensive guidance. Now, the goals of SAM here is to give you a practical guidance, like for building security into software development lifecycle. And also, this project is measurable. So you can establish measurable criteria to assess an organization's software security maturity. It's like you want to see where you are and where you want to be. And this project is tailored to any organization, big or small, and you can conduct it based on the risk appetite and constraints. Imagine the project is like building your own house. To build a house, you need a strong foundation. So software needs to be built securely from the start. And it will affect any technology that you're gonna have it today in your organization. So it is very important to consider security early from the first stage of development. Now, to deep dive into business functions, like related to our example, a house, 5 business functions. Let's start with governance. Why do we need governance? Because we need to establish the rules and policies that guide you to secure software development. And of course, you need secure by design approach. So it's good to integrate this security into software architecture and design. And to implement this project, you need to develop secure code, libraries, and frameworks. And to do some verification to your software, you need testing and review to identify vulnerabilities and bugs. And for the operation, you need to monitor, patch, upgrade to keep software secure. In military, they said, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. Like you are preparing yourself against any upcoming attacks. In some language, we will say an ounce of software security today is worth a pound of patch tomorrow. It's like getting security right from the beginning always costs you less than addressing them later. It's like نجهز الدواء قبل الفلعة. This is typically SAM, version 2. The structure is 5 business functions: governance, design, implementation, verification, and operation. Under business functions, there is a security practices, which are 15 security practices. The business functions represent stages in software development lifecycle. The security practices are the core activities that support secure software development. In each business functions, under each security practices, there is stream A and B. Stream means that the objective that could feed the business functions. And we're gonna get an information about the stream. Under the stream, there is a maturity level. Let's understand what are the maturity level. SAM provided you with a maturity level, like if you implement the quality criteria questions under each security practices, if you didn't implement anything, you will get 0. But if you implement and understand the security practices in initial phase, you will be mapped to 1. If you increase the efficiency or effectiveness of the practice, you will be mapped to 2. And if you master all the security practices with all the questions criteria, you will be mapped to 3. Let's understand much more better. We will zoom in design and verifications. We need both approach, proactive and reactive. Now, setting your controls and doing some threat assessment by collecting security requirements, and you will have secure architecture, saying that you are in proactive mode. And verification is to test and have a good understanding about what to test. Let's start with a threat assessment. Threat assessment as a security practice under design, it's divided into 2 streams: application risk profile and threat modeling. Application risk profile, it's basically from business side, whereas threat modeling is from technical side. Now, you have to understand the application risk profile for each applications that you have in your organizations by conducting risk assessment of application, seeing that whether it's critical or non-critical, and if it is an internet facing or not. And if you map this quality criteria with having a checklist of threat modeling, you will be nearly to maturity level 1. And if you have an inventory of all your applications that you reviewed and tracking them, and also you have a standardized tool-based organization-wide threat modeling, you will be nearly to 2. For the highest score, which is 3, if you review those risk profiles, and if you have a continuous optimization and automation of your threat modeling methodology, you will be nearly to 3. So 3 is the highest rank, but some provide you with a continuous effort and ad hoc approach to implement this assessment. Let's jump to security testing practices. Now, you want to detect bugs in an automated way, and you need to save security expert time. Now, the security testing practices is divided into 2 streams: scalable baseline and deep understanding. And you have to set the baseline of testing, whether you have tool selections based on the architecture, and you want to minimize the false positive of security testing, and you want to integrate automated security testing into the build and deploy process. This is the baseline of having security testing throughout the assessment. The deep understanding here means that you want to understand how to conduct the pen testing, what is the flows in the application levels, and if you want to integrate security testing into development process or not. These are the quality criteria that need to be answered by the assessment based on the organization need. And this is very important business functions because it's aligned also with the software development lifecycle. Now let's understand how to apply the assessment, how to apply some. There is a roadmap. First, you want to prepare for the assessment. how to prepare for the assessment. Actually, you have to spread the word and saying that we have some model, we need to conduct this assessment. You can prepare 3 or 4 slides about what is SAM and share it with the specific stakeholders. And you're gonna teach them how things work in SAM. Then you want to assess and identify and understand the maturity of your chosen scope. And we're gonna get through the scope more in deep. Set the target because you want to develop a target score for your most important activities, because there are 90 activities, and setting a target will save your time. Define the plan. Develop or update your plan to take your organization to the next level. Implement, work the plan, implement the activities on the ground. So this will help you in conducting the assessment perfectly. Roll out, ensure that improvements are available and effectively used with the organization. SAM assessment process. You have to prepare for this project. Now, there is a complicating factors. So in establishing the scope, like you have different development teams, you have different technology stacks, and you have business IT alignment issues, and sometimes you have outsourced development. Now, these kind of stuff, you need to take them into consideration while you want to set your scope and preparing for it. Also, reviewing practices for each business functions to identify the gaps. The score is very important for each practice to analyze the results at the end of the assessment. And as I told you, Sam will give you a roadmap development to improve the practice across the organization. To implement this assessment, you need to determine resources, timeline, metrics for roadmap execution. SAM is beneficial because it is customizable, comprehensive, and community-driven. So SAM allows organizations to customize security practices based on the organization needs. And it is a comprehensive approach because it will provide you with a guidance across the full software development lifecycle. SAM leverages input from a large community of security experts. These are the benefits of SAM. Now, who can benefit from SAM in the organizations? As I told you, it's bridge the gap between teams and solve many issues in the organization. So software developers, they can use SAM to understand and implement secure software development practices. Also architects, they can use SAM guidance to design secure software architectures. Auditors also, they can audit the maturity of an organization's software security practices. Consultants to advise clients on improving software security. Also security teams, because it's part of their information security program. Now, when to use each one? We have ISO 27001, and I believe that ISO 27001, at the end, it's like you have a certificate that you are comply with most of the requirements in that assessment. ISO 27001 provide organization-wide security, but OWASP SAM focuses only on software practices, software security practices. This is the main differences between them. And also we can say that OWASP SAM supports ISO 27001. Let's check the score. Now, under each business functions, there is a security practices which have quality criteria. SAM score depend on the quality and coverage. What do you mean by quality? The quality criteria questions that need you to evaluate it against organizations. Coverage means the scope of applications that you conduct in the beginning of the assessment and define it based on the organizations. What are the challenges in implementing OWASP SAM? OWASP SAM had 19 activities. Now, the main challenge here is how to prioritize different activities and improvements. So it is depend on the, again, risk appetite and organization need, and how can you implement the activities for the for our environment, because yeah, environment have many tech stacks, development process, different tooling. Now, how to conduct these the assessment based on these kind of inputs. This is the main challenge while implementing OWASP SAM. SAM assessment tool. OWASP SAM provided us with two main tools that we can use to conduct the assessment and start with. Either you use spreadsheet, Microsoft Excel toolbox, or you can use a browser-based interface which called Samwise. Sam Excel, at the end, depend on the conducting the interview and assess the maturity across various business functions and practices. Let's see how. This is the actual Excel sheet that you want to start with the interview first, because you have to define your team leaders, and the project name. Now, if you stop in the straight assessment, you're gonna find the quality criteria questions that you need to answer based on the what you have in your organizations, and the answers will be depend on the threshold of answers. Either you said no, we don't have to, we didn't implement this, or you can say yes, some of them, and you can say yes, at least half of them, or yes, most of all of them. This is the threshold of the answer that you need to map for each quality criteria questions. If you choose, let's say, yes for more of them, you're gonna find your score change, automatically update in the Excel sheet. And if you jump to the scorecard, you're gonna say that, you're gonna see that the scoring is changing based on your answers. And you're gonna have an continuous effort to change or improve the score based on what you implement. Moving back to the slides, we have another tool which called Samwise, and you can host it internally in your organization. And it to provide you with convenient browser-based interface for capturing SAM assessment responses. You can use it for many times to check your improvements, and you can compare it with the previous result of the assessment that you had conducted. If you're navigating to the assessment, you're gonna find some of all the business functions with all the questions that need to be answered: governance, design, implementation, verification, and operation. In details, you can add your company name, project name, description of the project, and you can complete the assessment. At the end, you're gonna catch your score based on your answers, and you build the plan toward improving the scores, because this is a roadmap assessment. If you have any questions regarding how things implemented or what is SAM in more details, you can navigate to both of the sites. And now we're ending the presentation. If you have any thoughts or questions, you are welcome to ask.
Thank you, Fatima, for the. I believe there is a question from Hamid.
Yeah, how does SAM help organizations stay agile, addressing new security challenges in the ever-changing landscape of software development? Yes. SAM, it's fit to all project types like agile and waterfall. And you can set with your own team, our developers, understand what they are doing in terms of development and daily development work, and you can address those security practices based on their needs.
Please, if you have any question, we have a Q&A button. Please shoot your question there. Most welcome, Hamid. By the way, the session will be recorded, or is being recorded, and will be shared through our channel on YouTube. So, inshallah, we will communicate it after the session. Please, if you have any question, we can stay like for a few minutes to answer the questions.
Talha, how do you start to implement SAM from software development side? What steps can we take to begin this? Yeah, actually, SAM as a model can provide you with a plan to integrate security practices early in the development lifecycle. Because, as I said, most of the developers, they don't know how to integrate security in their development project. And we need a dedicated team to help them integrate those security practices to avoid any attacks or breach in the future. Now, how to apply it is my answer, like how to prepare for it, how to set the target, and how to set the roadmap at the end. Are there any sample projects that can guide on how the SAM is applied at each level of the? Yes, there are use cases that we can share it with you after the sessions, so that you can take a big pictures on how to start and end with the SAM assessment. Sayed Basha, great presentation. Since you mentioned threat modeling, is there a specific type you recommend? Yeah, there is a tools. We cannot mention all kind of tools, but there is a tool for threat modeling that you need to take into consideration while you test the controls and everything's related to design. So we're gonna also provide you with the tools needed, inshallah. How major organization in Kuwait can approach to adopt OWASP? Is this being a new approach towards security perspective? Yes, it is a strategic value that we can add to the organization, and we want to think about it, because we need also, as I told you, to solve the issues between the teams. In conducting this assessment, we can cover most of their issues for any kind of upcoming assessment in the organization, that they need to stay aligned with the security. Today's security is everyone's responsibilities. Like, it is not security only responsibility, but everyone. So in this case, we need to implement a model that can help organization to stay secure. Muhammad,
Just,
is there?
just regarding the Sayyid Basha's question regarding the threat modeling tools, OWASP has a project called OWASP Threat Dragon. It's about threat modeling, so please have a look on it.
Nice. If there is some terms to be a WASP certification company, Faisal.
Yeah, OWASP is
have
an open community. We don't give certificates. OWASP provides encourage the communities to build the projects, to participate in enhancing the whatever related to web security. So we are not focusing on the certificates of the organization itself, the OWASP.
Muhammad Shamsuddin.
Any more questions?
Any more questions? I got maybe questions here also from Muhammad. Great. Hi, Fatimah. Thanks for the great presentation. My question is how SAM help us with the DevOps lifecycle, since all the DevOps providers have embedded the standard with their model. Okay, good. Good questions. Now, for the DevOps, we need also to measure the maturity score. Now, you will not have a visibility on your security maturity score. So in this case, also SAM gonna feed you with good information to how calculate this maturity score, because it is fit to any let's say approach in developing applications or software. Good questions. Thank you, Mohammed.
Any more questions?
Hanan, can we use this system for individual as well? So like it doesn't depend on company. Yes, you can use it. And you can depend on a third party to conduct this assessment for your organization also. Good questions, Hanan. Thank you.
I believe that's it, right? Thank you for joining us. The video will be shared on our YouTube channel, and we will share. I think there was a question from Chandru regarding the samples. I will share this with you, Mr. Chandru. Inshallah, we will share the record, and inshallah, stay tuned with us. And if you have you can follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and also our official page on OWASP. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for your time, and wait us for more upcoming, inshallah, events in Kuwait regarding application security event. Thank you so much.